Most people are told the same thing at some point in their lives. You think too much, you're overanalyzing, you should stop worrying. And maybe you've heard this so many times that you started to believe something is wrong with you. But what if it isn't? What if the problem isn't that you think too much, but the world around you doesn't make sense anymore? Today, I want to talk about that feeling, that quiet pressure in your mind, the constant awareness you can't turn off, not to fix it, not to cure it, just to understand it. I think that the word overthinking is a convenient one. It sounds helpful, almost like an advice, but most of the people and the time it's just a way to shut a conversation down. Because when you think deeply, you don't just think about problems. You think about why they exist. You notice contradictions, patterns, when things don't add up, and that makes people uncomfortable. Instead of engaging with your questions, they label you. You're too sensitive, too serious. You should relax. That's what most people say. But deep thinking is not the same as anxiety. Anxiety is fear without direction. Thinking is awareness with weight. And here's the part no one warns you about. Awareness doesn't set you free. It isolates you first. The more you see, the harder it becomes to live on autopilot. You start noticing things you can't ignore anymore. How work doesn't just consume time, it consumes identity. How success often means being too busy to ask if you're okay. How everyone is exhausted but keeps pretending this is normal. How years don't pass, they accelerate, and at some point your mind turns against the script you were given. You start asking questions that don't have comfortable answers. What am I building? Who is this version of me serving? Why does my life feel full yet empty at the same time? For me, this didn't happen because I failed. It happened because I was doing everything right. I was competent, reliable, productive. I solved problems, I delivered, I kept going. But inside, something felt off. I wasn't really living. I was just maintaining a system, optimizing routines, managing stress, surviving weeks. And that's when I realized something uncomfortable. I wasn't tired because I was weak. I was tired because none of it felt chosen. Awareness doesn't give you clarity, it gives you friction. Once you see how replaceable time is treated, once you see how quietly ambition turns into a cage, once you realize how easy it is to waste your sharpest years, you can't unsee it. And the worst part of this, you still have to function. You still have to pay, perform, smile, explain yourself. But it's not the same anymore because now you're awake inside a structure that rewards numbness and punishes hesitation. That tension, that constant pressure between who you are and who you're expected to be, that's not confusion, that's consciousness. And maybe the question isn't, how do I go back to feeling normal? Maybe it is, what kind of life would actually be worth my awareness? This leads me to the next stage, Burnout. Burnout doesn't always look dramatic because you're still functional, still productive, still smiling, but inside something is tired. Not your body, but your sense of meaning. As I said before, you still do the right things, follow the plan, you improve yourself, yet it feels hollow. You see more, you reflect more, you search for something that explains the emptiness. And people call that overthinking. But I call it resistance. Because I think that after going through these stages, there is a specific kind of loneliness that comes from seeing clearly. Not being alone physically, but mentally. You can't fully explain what you feel, because it's not one emotion, it's a mixture. Clarity without certainty, freedom without direction, potential without grounding. You listen to conversations and they feel shallow. You scroll endlessly and feel nothing. And slowly, you realize not everyone is asking the same questions you are. And that's when distance grows. People will suggest solutions. Travel, stay busy, stop thinking, watch something. But distraction doesn't solve awareness, it only delays it. Silence brings everything back. At night, in quiet moments, when there's nothing left to consume. And that's when the thoughts return, not aggressively, but patiently. They are waiting. What if thinking deeply is not a malfunction, but a signal? A sign that your environment doesn't match your inner values. A sign that your life is moving faster than your understanding. A sign that you're not now. The world rewards speed, but meaning takes time. And those who feel lost are often just ahead, asking questions before answers exist. The problem isn't that you think, it's that you have nowhere to place those thoughts. No container, no outlet, no silent reflections. But when thoughts stay trapped, they turn heavy. They need to be expressed, spoken, written, shared. They soften, they organize themselves. That's why talking helps, that's why creating helps. Not to perform, but to release. So maybe you're not broken, maybe you're just aware, in a world that prefers numbness. Maybe your mind isn't noisy, it's responding. And maybe instead of silencing it, you could listen, slowly, without judgment. You don't need all the answers. Sometimes understanding the question is enough for now. And to be honest, this awareness scares me sometimes. Because there are days I wish I could go back, not seeing so much, to just doing what's expected without feeling this weight. I still feel lost more often than I admit. I still have doubts about my choice. I still don't know where all of this is leading. I don't even know if this channel will work. I really don't know anything. I created this as a way to help myself and maybe help others, share thoughts, and maybe all heal together. Because I also know this. Pretending was slowly killing something inside me, and that's something I can't hide. I can't just go back now. That stage also broke. And even on the hard days, I'd rather be unsure and awake than comfortable and numb. Because don't forget, we only have one life. How you want to live it, in autopilot and keep just going through the path that you were assigned to, or try, fail, and maybe learn. Because for me, because I'm on my 20s, and I know that tomorrow I will be on my 30s and so on. Life is a challenge, has its rewards, and also has its problems. I'm on that stage now, the stage that I don't really know what's going to happen. I don't have a perfect plan, just a quiet commitment to keep choosing what feels honest, one step at a time. Maybe that's just enough to begin. So, thank you for being here.